Welcome to MINDSHOCK. This is your host, Bruce McGuire, and this is the Goofatorium, Episode 3, where we are witnessing the collapse of Western civilization in real time and examining the dearth of critical thinking capability, the dearth of basic logic and reason, the dearth of possibly even two-digit IQs. I mean, this is the world we are living in. It's a tragic comedy, I guess you could call it, or a comedic tragedy. I suppose either would work. So, we will continue examining the average individual on the street and where they are at mentally, and what percentage of the population they might be able to represent, and what that all means for the future. As always, if you find the MINDSHOCK podcast interesting, informative, entertaining, you can donate to our PayPal. Just check the link in the description. You could also become a YouTube member right here on YouTube. Help support the channel that way. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Patreon. Patreon is your get priority for case, topic, logical analysis, co-podcast, or requests. You can also be a guest on the podcast depending on your tier. Alright, so I'm going to start off with yet another Liberty Hangout video. We watched, I believe, episode 1, we covered Liberty Hangout. So this is the spring break episode, so I hope everybody is mentally prepared for this, because it might cost some brain cells. It really might.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
I couldn't tell you.
Cameraman doing his job.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
I don't know.
You know. I know.
I swear I don't know. I promise you I don't know.
Hey.
I actually don't know.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
I don't know.
What does Easter mean to you?
Easter means freedom to me. It's just a time to get out, spend with family, celebrate, have fun with some kids, friends. Just go have something to do, you know?
All right. That sounds more like 4th of July. Is there one person that comes to mind when you think of Easter?
Not one in specific, just mostly family.
Okay, so we know what we're getting ourselves into here. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. But we do our best on MINDSHOCK. We do our best.
Happy Easter, everybody. We are here in Clearwater today to figure out if people know why we celebrate Easter and what it all means. Let's go find out.
Over here on camera. She's doing her damn thing. How about you guys subscribe to mother... How about you guys... And then a couple video watches, because we're going to show you guys how a good time goes down. Liberty! 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 Liberty!
Does anybody think maybe people are getting thrown off because does that microphone say Liberty Hangout? So that do they think that Easter has to do with liberty and freedom simply because that's the question being asked by the person holding that microphone? Are these goofs simply highly suggestible, subliminally at least?
Did you know there's an opportunity to talk to me one-on-one in my private Facebook group? You can gain access by donating $5 a month to me at patreon.com/Caitlin Bennett. Like-minded people are there. We talk all the time. It's great. Sign up and I'll see you there. Why do people celebrate Easter?
Wow, Pinto Sack with a great question. How has our society not collapsed yet? That's actually a great question. The only answer I could come up with is just there's still a lot of old people around kind of holding things up. That's the only thing I could think of. You know, people in their 50s, 60s, even 70s, there's people still working, and they're kind of keeping the infrastructure together, so to speak. That's the only thing I could think of, right? Because they grew up, you know, pre-smartphone, glued to screen. Even, I mean, they weren't even the trophy generation, the participation trophy generation. So they preceded all that. So they're still functional. Like a certain percentage of the older population is still mentally functional. So that's that's my answer there. Obviously, I actually don't have supreme confidence that I mean they can keep this up for what, maybe another decade, maybe, and then I don't know, maybe after that it's just all robot polishers. I mean, I don't know.
April the 1st.
What?
April the 1st.
Nope.
Wait, I have to replay this part.
Did you know there's an opportunity to talk to me one-on-one at patreon.com/Caitlin Bennett? Like-minded people are there. We talk all the time. It's great. Sign up and I'll see you there. Why do people celebrate Easter?
April the 1st.
What?
April the 1st.
Did she ask him why people celebrate Easter? He answered April the 1st. And the look on her face. It's a shame the camera doesn't have a more head-on approach to her face. Look at her face.
Nope.
He looks a little surprised that wasn't the correct answer. It did sound like he said April the 1st. It did sound like he said that, yeah.
What is Easter? Do you know what Easter is?
Yes.
Why do people celebrate it?
He's got that cartoon face. I know exactly what it is. Let me just smile now. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough to get through. How long is she just gonna sit there? How long are they gonna sit there like this? Is there a time limit? we need a clock here.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Does it have anything to do with Jesus?
Oh yeah, it does.
Go on.
They do it for Palm Sunday, I think it is, Palm Sunday.
It's kind of in the same.
The Passover.
Close.
Palm Sunday to Passover. This is kind of brilliant. Oh man. Wow. Sun UV Liberty says, nah, fool, it's April the 17th. Yeah, probably. Yes, Pintosac. Pintosac says, I think part of the problem is that it's hard for people to realize how bad things are getting because it happens slowly and not overnight. Yeah. Yeah. Elaine says, shut up, everybody gets confused in April. It's a confusing time, that's for sure.
What happened on Easter Sunday?
He was resurrected.
There we go.
Wait, this guy went from Passover to resurrection in literally 3 seconds. He goes from Passover to resurrection. Oh man, this is interesting. This is definitely interesting.
Oh, now you knew the answer all along. Perfect. Are you a Christian?
Yes.
All right.
So why is he talking about Passover then? I don't really get. I don't get this guy. Oh, Elaine, we don't want to imagine that. Elaine says, just imagine how the kids that went through the pandemic will turn out. Yeah, that's tough, especially the extremely young kids that didn't get to recognize people's facial expressions because everybody was, well, all the goofs were masked up. I mean, in the major cities, obviously. In the rural areas, they probably didn't, engage in all that nonsense. But in the cities, which obviously have high population, that's where most of the population is, millions, tens of millions. Let's get an exact figure, because I actually forgot. Wow, 80%. I didn't think it was that high. 80%. Yeah, less than 20% live in rural America. 80% live in cities. So 80% of these toddlers and really young kids that are supposed to be understanding human expressions and, learning how to function, and everything was shut down by the goofs, at least in the major city areas. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Elaine also says there's a good side for the older kids. They got to skip some of the indoctrination. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a good point. Let's get some positivity up in here. Yes, certain kids, I guess, maybe upper middle school, high school, and even maybe in college, when everything was shut down, perhaps they did some research online. Perhaps, they woke up a little bit and also examined other avenues for making money, investing, etc., instead of just, bootlicking indoctrination and then going to work for the man.
You got some work to do there, but I'm just kidding. You got this. Why do people celebrate Easter?
Why people celebrate? I don't know.
You want to phone a friend?
Hey.
All right, we need to phone a friend. Do we have a friend for this gentleman over here? Anybody want to phone a friend, sir? Can you phoning a friend? I think you're on your own.
Oh man.
What other life?
All right, next question.
Your friends abandon you.
Alright, next question. So again, just to reiterate, this was, 1 or 2 years ago? I think this might have been 1 year ago. So these are not kids that grew up during the pandemic with all that nonsense going around. These are semi-functioning human beings that possibly had the beginning of their childhood without smartphones. So, yeah.
You gonna abandon me, bro?
You know what? Let's walk over to him.
All right, let's go over here.
All right. Since you want to abandon your friend, we're putting you in the spotlight. Why do people celebrate Easter?
I don't know.
You know. I know.
I swear I don't know. I promise you I don't know.
Hey.
I actually don't know.
I don't know what to make of this nonchalance. Like, would it be better if he was a little bit embarrassed that he doesn't know? It's almost like he's proud of not knowing that. Look at that. There's zero shame on that face. Zero. Whereas the first guy with the beard, he seems at least slightly embarrassed that he doesn't know. Whereas this skinny guy, zero shame. There's almost pride in the voice regarding not knowing.
It's because Jesus was born, right? Reborn or something? Came up for something?
I don't know, bro.
I remember it, man. It's something like that. Something like that. I'm there. I'm close.
Yeah, you're pretty much right.
Yeah.
You're pretty much right.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Did you know that? You know Jesus resurrected?
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay. You just didn't know it happened. That's why we celebrate Easter.
Yeah, basically.
All right. How long have you been a Playboy bunny?
Probably about 69 years.
Good for you. A young Hugh Hefner over here. I love it. All right, there we go. Why do people celebrate Easter?
I couldn't tell you.
The way he said that, I don't know, man. That gets me. The manner in delivering that information that he couldn't tell her.
The rise of Christ or something.
I don't know.
It has something to do with Christ.
Does anybody know why we celebrate Easter?
The birth of Christ.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Has something to do with Christ.
That's Christmas.
Oh, is it the death?
The death of Christ.
No, that came before Easter.
The rise of Christ.
Yep, there you go. Yeah. Should we give it to him? Why do we celebrate Easter?
Those are some interesting sunglasses, I have to say. She could probably name every single brand of those style of sunglasses. But I don't know if she knows the answer to this question.
Very beautiful smile.
Is it God's birthday?
No.
Yeah.
That's her
God's birth? What? God's birthday? God's birthday? Huh, that's interesting.
Husband, bro, you guys are a power couple. Look at it! Oh, we never knew that they were happily in love. Look at his ring. Look at her. I'm so happily in love. You can find it here in Clearwater, baby.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
It's just a culture for some people. I mean, some people do it to have fun, get together with family. I mean, it's warm out, getting off of winter, so, I mean, why not?
There's no significance.
I mean...
So this is Clearwater. Getting off of winter, it's warm out. What kind of winters they got in Clearwater, Florida? They got those rough winters with the blizzards and the sub-zero temperatures. So it just got warm out. I mean, I don't know if these are... I think these might be out-of-town spring breakers. So I don't know if maybe they don't know what more tropical climates entail during winter times. I mean, I don't know. Elaine asks, somebody tell me when God's birthday is, please. I've missed it all my life. Well, if the creator is all powerful, so that's kind of a question of who created the creator. If the creator created himself, I mean, then only the creator would know when that was, or the creator always existed, in which case there's no birthday. So I don't know how anybody would try to find out that information. But interesting answer nonetheless.
It depends. It goes from person to person. I mean...
Easter is one of those subjective holidays. It depends person to person. Oh, wow. It's a person-to-person holiday. This is fantastic. Oh, man. It's a person-to-person. Oh, that's a great answer. That is a fantastic answer. I have to say, I did not expect these kinds of answers. Person to person. Oh, man. I think I need a second to recover from that one. Person to person. Oh, man. Oh, man. Person to person. This guy's... That's my favorite answer thus far.
It means... Yeah, I think so.
Okay. What does Easter mean to you?
Easter means freedom to me.
Freedom?
Yep, get out.
I guess in a way,
Yeah.
it could mean freedom from...
It depends, like I said, person to person.
Oh, man. Oh, it depends person to person. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through this video. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. Whew.
It's just a time to get out, spend with family, celebrate, have fun with some kids, friends. Just go have something to do, you know?
Right. That sounds more like...
It's just a holiday to go have something to do. Oh, man, the alleviation of boredom holiday. Yeah, this is a good workout. I mean, I was not expecting these kinds of answers. I mean, in Goofatorium 1 and 2, I did not laugh this hard. But it's a person-to-person holiday.
4th of July.
However you look at it.
But you...
So you could look at it like it's the 4th of July, because it's a person-to-person kind of thing. It's a person-to-person kind of holiday.
You know what? Easter could be freedom from our sins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be freedom for our sense, from where we're at, who we're around. Just try something new.
Freedom, try something. Freedom from people you were around, or freedom from where you are. This guy's killing me. Person to person. Oh man, this is great.
Okay.
See new
Try
things.
something new. Celebrate Easter.
Yep.
Try something new. To watch the full, uncut, and uncensored version of
I don't think we could handle that. I don't think we could handle the full version of this video.
this exact video, get a libertyhangout.tv. It helps support my work. A lot of juicy content on there. Check it out. Why do people celebrate Easter?
Because I think that people are so good at celebrating false holidays that, you know what I'm saying, it's just something to do.
What? It's something to do? It's the boredom alleviation holiday? Wow. Interesting.
I just said the other day, when we start having sister day, daughter day, cousin day, they just making up anything.
So she thinks that Easter is a recent made-up holiday that was just made up recently to have something to do. Is that her position? They're just making up holidays now, and Easter's one of these new made-up holidays? Like Daughter Day? What? Look at Caitlin's face. Look at Caitlin's face.
Nowadays, it's crazy.
Look at her face.
There's no point behind Easter?
I think it's only a point behind something when it's facts, when you got all your facts together, and all the facts are really not together, so no.
So the fax machine didn't deliver the facts yet?
What facts are missing from Easter?
The actual day.
Okay.
Yeah. Now don't ask me no more.
Would you guys, why do people celebrate Easter? Okay, we don't have to say it's Easter. Just, do you know what this time period represents?
Ain't it the resurrection? Yeah.
But you don't believe that that's what Easter is about?
Resurrected. I just don't believe it's on the day we celebrate.
Okay.
Like a whole lot of days ain't. Martin Luther King for one. Oh, y'all.
What? What? Martin Luther King is on the wrong day? Booyah? What does that booyah mean? What? What? This is kind of confusing.
Where does the word, but what is Easter? What, because Easter is different than just a Saturday night hanging with the boys type of thing.
Well, what do you think? What do you think Easter is?
Are you trying to avoid saying something?
I already said everything I need to say, for real.
All right. Is there one person that comes to mind when you think of Easter?
Not one in specific, just mostly family. Real, just for me.
Have you ever heard of Jesus Christ?
Of course.
Okay.
Well, of course, I wouldn't be surprised if he hadn't. I mean, I don't know.
Do you want to reframe your answer now that I mentioned that someone is involved here?
Yeah, I mean, I said it went from person to person. Personally, for me, it could be worshiping, it could be doing Bible study, just celebrating his day that he was born and the day that he
That's
came.
Christmas.
Oh, I'm tripping. Bad.
Oh, so if he's tripping this whole time, I guess that could explain. What kind of trip? Acid? I mean, what kind of trip is he talking about here? What's going on? What's going on?
He was resurrected
That's
on that day.
Yep.
Yeah.
My mom just said something about that, but yeah, it's celebrating who he is, what he gave for us, and he gave us all opportunities that.
I thought it was just a person-to-person, something to do kind of holiday. Freedom from where you're at and the people you're with.
Most times, unfortunately, a lot of people take advantage of.
I like that answer. Why do we celebrate Easter?
Because of the rabbits.
Okay.
rabbits? Because that's when, something about Jesus. That's when Jesus died on the cross. That's when he rises. Do you know the answer? That's when he rises. Okay.
Why do we celebrate Easter? Why do people celebrate Easter?
Oh, goodness gracious. It has something to do with Jesus Christ.
Something.
Yes.
Do you think it has something to do with Jesus Christ?
You could say that.
You could say it.
I wanted to say that, but
Why not?
Pinto Sack in the chat. List the top 3 reasons how we got here. I went over many reasons. The top three only. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, that's tough. I suppose you gotta put poisons up there. All different types of poisons. Air, food, water, certain medical injections, possibly. Obviously, I do not claim anything is true or untrue. And also just constant radiation, electromagnetic frequency radiation. So poison, air, food, water, radiation poisons, medical treatments. That's going to cause some brain damage. If you notice people that are, for example, living off the land away from the cities, they're generally not this glazed over. They don't have this fluoride stare. So I would put that as the top, maybe even number 1. Number 2 would, of course, have to be the education system dumbing everybody down. So people are, especially the past, let's say, the past 2 decades or so, it's they're just taught what to think, not how to think. Logic and critical thinking, deductive reasoning have all been abandoned in statist indoctrination facilities known as schools. And so those are top 2. Third one, I would say participation trophy ideology / ego indulgence, which would include various different forms of propaganda, from feminism to whatever, where the ego, everything is appealing to the ego, which also ties in with participation trophies. So these top 3, if you remove them from the equation, I mean, we're back in what, the 70s at this point? And things aren't that bad. So those would probably have to be my top 3. And honestly, for number 4, I would probably put in just, the actual propaganda, subliminal messages, predictive programming, all of the Illuminati advertising, so to speak. But I actually don't think that would go into the top 3, because if the top 3 weren't there, none of that propaganda would work in the first place. So I think I'd probably stick with those top 3. Because even that third point, the indulgence of the ego, that connects with, of course, feminism and the cult of authority worship by appealing to the ego. Oh, you get free stuff, etc. I mean, everything's kind of tied into that. The indulgence of the ego, there's a lot tied into that. And, the narcissistic tendencies that are played up by feeding into the ego. That kind of explains a lot. Those top 3. Yeah, because if you got rid of those top 3, I mean, yeah, we're back in the 70s. 70s, early 80s, it's not that bad back then. Not that bad.
You be the one, Ezra? Thank you.
because I don't want to try and force other people to believe what they need to believe. I feel like...
If I said that grass is green right there, is that offensive?
No.
So saying the truth about what Easter is not
Does this guy... How much testosterone does this guy have? Again, that would tie into point number 1 because all of the poisoning would plummeted the testosterone levels, which is also an issue.
Offensive.
No.
No. All right.
Fair.
You're stronger than that. You don't have to shy away.
I don't have to tell you what I believe.
No, but I don't know. I wouldn't have to explain to Jesus or God that I told someone that.
What is wrong with this guy? This guy's like permanently physically and mentally limp.
Easter was about the Easter bunny.
That's fair.
I know. You can explain that one to him. That's on you. What is it?
Resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Woo! Go Bow! Very good.
PK right here.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
I don't know.
For God.
I mean, I know what they mean, but I don't know. That's not really why people celebrate. They just.
Well, it's not the Easter bunny. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, I know what the meaning is, but I'm not really sure why people celebrate it.
Christians.
Yeah.
Because their Savior rose from the dead.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's not, in my opinion. Oh, you get what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
We got each other. We're talking in our heads. We'll rub you.
Rub me down.
All right, if you don't get it right, we're moving on. And we'll keep going until someone gets it right, okay? Why do people celebrate Easter?
I'm going to say because Jesus was born again. Yeah. Jesus was born again? Right?
You sure about that?
Are we sure? How about you, sir, behind the camera?
Can we phone a friend on that?
Can we phone a friend? One of these lovely ladies over here?
What's Easter celebrated?
Wait.
I mean, is this really this much of a brain scratcher? They have to get all these people involved just to answer this question.
Go ask them. Go ask them.
Miss in the beautiful jean shorts. Why do we celebrate Easter?
For the Easter bunny.
Well, this generation completely lost. The blind leading the blind. I mean, yeah, a lot of these so-called liberal professors at all of these colleges and schools. I mean, it was bad enough that they were thoroughly indoctrinated, but and then they're exponentially destroying the minds of everybody they teach, because that initial generation, so we're talking the late 90s through the 2000s, as bad as it wasn't the complete train wreck of the generation coming up now. And one can only, I mean, I don't even want to imagine what the next generation will be. I mean, that's tough to even fathom.
She says the Easter bunny. That's a good one.
It appears he said that with a straight face. It appears he genuinely believes that was a good answer. Look at his face. Unless he's this phenomenal actor, it appears that he believes that this was a good answer. Wait, this was last year, and there's a guy wearing a mask behind him in May? Or when was this? April last year? I don't remember when they released the video, so they must have shot it March, April. Or this was spring break, so I guess, yeah, I mean, obviously different schools have different spring breaks at different times, but I would guess it would either be March or April.
I've heard that one before. So was I correct, though?
Oh, man. Here's another one. As part of point 2, the edumacation indoctrination system, there's a more thorough explanation here, because kids want to be correct and get that pat on the head instead of being taught the proper logical reasoning to get to an answer. Having a wrong answer with better reasoning would be superior, because even if you're wrong in that instance, you'll be correct far more later, and you'll build your intellect. Because the brain is a muscle, just like your muscles. Like, accidentally, like, if you're playing basketball, if you just accidentally make a shot by luck and then you're happy because of the score, that's not going to make you a better basketball player or athlete in any way. So I think that's another issue within the so-called school systems. The kids are all, and teachers, they're all concerned about the answers. Now, even if we give them the benefit of the doubt and say that the answers they're providing are correct, I mean, they're not, but let's say they are, that's still going to cause a problem because there's no actual methodology being practiced, recognized. So it's the reasoning. Oops, the heck just happened? That was weird.
People celebrate Easter.
That was weird. Okay. So yeah, the reasoning itself is not what's being concentrated on at all. Like, I've said this story in the past, even without knowing my age. When I was really little, they still taught logic and reason in school, specifically. And then somewhere along the way, it absolutely disappeared from the curriculum. And then also part of the education problem is how they keep lowering the bar. So that's another issue, because they just keep lowering and lowering the bar year after year after year. Shelby in the chat says, parents being forced to slave for the system and the government raising the kids, I believe, is number one reason we are here. Yeah, that would be tied to inflation, yes. Because, well, feminism also, I kind of covered that in point 4. Well, that was point 3, appeal to the ego and trophy generation. I guess we could tie that all in there, too. Because it's part of the appeal, because feminism is built on those appeals to the egos of equality and all that, and then the government can hoodwink half the population to turn into a wage slave and think that that's empowering at the expense, literally at the expense of their children and the expense of their own labor, which is completely eroded. So yes, huge factor.
What do you mean? You asked the question.
Who votes the Easter Bunny?
I vote. I mean, it's cool. It's a good answer.
I mean, these are college kids. These are college kids voting that the reason Easter is celebrated is because of the Easter Bunny. I mean, these are college kids. College kids. Yes, eroded is stolen. Yes. Yes, indeed. If you guys want the graphic, I will put the graphic on the screen here. Inflation is probably the #1 tax, because not only is it sneaky, but it erodes your value. So nowadays, you're going to have to work thousands of hours, or whatever, 1,000 to 2,000 hours for the same value of $1. So you the amount you have to work 2,000 more hours today than people had to work before the 1900 to 1920. For the same value that the labor provided in terms of currency. And this does not include Bidenflation. So this is just up to Biden. And this is an older graphic, and I can also give the, we can look at Bidenflation as well. So since 2020, it has been eroded even more, quite severely. So trueflation is the only real metric that should be utilized, because the CPI and all of that's all propagandized and cherry-picked nonsense. So the aggregated inflation over 23% since Biden took office. So that's quite the spike. Quite the spike. And yes, not to be a buzzkill, but perhaps another metric is to look at would be this one, which is quite scary as well. And so, yeah, I mean, trueflation is quite scary.
All right, who votes the resurrection of Jesus Christ? Oh, I vote.
That's what it was. He was born again. The resurrection, the born. He is born again. Gosh.
It really looks like this guy okay, so this is what makes this so sad. You can see the capacity for intelligence. It's just the fluoride got in the way, and possibly many injections. Because the information's in the brain, it's just like he couldn't access it. Because he's got that fluoride stare. But that doesn't mean the capacity's not there. Which makes it really sad, because what kind of world would we be living in if there wasn't this edumacation statist system, and human beings were actually allowed, not just allowed, but encouraged to flourish to their full capacity without being poisoned or indoctrinated.
You knew it.
I sound like a preacher.
He was born again. We're medium rare out here with good bodies. It's clear water. And he was born again on Easter. Sir over there.
Yeah, go ask them.
Let me get one of these guys.
These guys.
Give me one. Yeah. Do you care to answer a couple questions today? Well, it's really one question for all. Why do we celebrate Easter?
Oh God, I'm Hindu.
Oh, it's all right. How do you celebrate?
By having fun, drinking.
Having fun, drinking a little bit of wine, get a little crazy.
Let's get a shot of this fashion statement. Tie-dye Crocs, alligator shorts, no shirt because he doesn't need one, and a beautiful hat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Not from here, but I'm soaking this all in, so.
You look like a tourist for
Shout
sure.
out Jack Gould for setting up the boys' trip for all of us.
Got it all down here.
You're talking to the wrong guy. This other guy we have is very handsome.
Very handsome. Look at this strong bond between all of these men here. This is true masculinity, I have to say.
Thank you.
People talk about toxic masculinity. That is not what they're talking about. I love the bond that you guys have with your friends. It's beautiful. Give a hug. I love it.
I gotta watch my mouth. I'm sorry.
Why do we celebrate Easter?
Why do we celebrate Easter? And I know this.
Now this is a case of the soy levels spiked, but again, if this human being wasn't poisoned profusely his entire life, perhaps he'd be a very sharp, high testosterone individual.
I know this. Give me a second. You can play the Jeopardy clock right now or whatever it is. It has something to do with, I feel like, the Christianity religion, right?
It has something to do with the Christianity religion. The other thing, too, is, again, part of the indulging the ego, it's all about feelings instead of truth, logic, and reason. Instead of objective truth, even if it does hurt everybody's feelings. Where feelings and emotions are prioritized over the actual truth. Because the actual truth could be harsh and disturbing.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Seems accurate.
That's one lifeline. So
Okay, I'm not gonna make any more of a fool of myself right now.
No, you're in the clear.
Okay.
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 All right. You want to be more specific?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. You guys not Christians then?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. What are you?
Oh man, jeez.
I'm just curious. This is the
Honestly, I grew up in a Christian family.
Okay. They didn't ever tell you what Easter
Well,
was?
they did, but I didn't pay attention very well.
Guys, why do we celebrate Easter?
Jesus Christ.
See, I was right.
I'm looking for specifics.
That was my answer too.
Risen from the dead.
Yes.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
3 days later, he was in the tomb.
I didn't want to take the lead.
Story.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
I thought it was sports, man.
What? They thought she was sports? Huh. Huh. Interesting. Interesting.
You said you're the best.
It's supposed to be sports.
And it's the resurrection of Jesus Christ, right?
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Why you? That's right, man. That's right.
All right, that's right. That's right. That's right. Why do we celebrate Easter?
Because it's Jesus' birthday.
What?
It's when Jesus rose from the dead.
Yeah. Why don't people know that?
Because people sometimes don't believe in God. And it's really stupid. It's really stupid. So be smarter.
It can be like that, can't it? What?
Trump 2024, baby.
Yes, sir.
Is that gonna happen?
We can only pray.
Good Lord.
Yeah, let's get Biden out of here.
What you gotta say?
Why do we celebrate Easter?
Because that's for Jesus, baby. Yes. That's for the man above. The man above. We're vibing. The man above.
We're vibing with Jesus today.
That's exactly.
That guy does not look sober. He does not look sober.
Right. All praise to the man most high. All praise to the man most high, and we're vibing on Clearwater Beach. Yes, sir. What you gotta say?
I do go to a Christian school. I'm not gonna classify what school that is. I don't want any backlash on the school, but I do go to a Christian school. We learn a lot about Christianity and all that stuff. We learn a lot about Jesus. We learn that like the celebration of Easter is all about Jesus. And you know, a lot of people make up all this stuff, you know, the Easter Bunny. Like it's fun to learn about the Easter Bunny, Easter egg hunt and all that stuff, but it's really about Jesus and
it is.
The rise of Jesus and how he beat death and all that stuff.
It is. It's all about how he rose again.
It's all about how he
That's literally all
Can I
it's
get a
about.
hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
These girls are
So, okay, AJD says in the chat, kind of sad, but you have to do the research if something interests you, and that was the case in the 70s when you used encyclopedias. It's too easy now. Everybody expects to be told. So I have an anecdote here. I told it, I believe, once before. I don't remember which stream, but I will tell it again. give me a second to make sure the stream is still good here. Almost, yeah, just want to make sure the stream here. Hmm. Okay, so the anecdote here, I was talking to a guy a bit older than myself, and back in this would have been 60s, 70s, when he was in college. And he said there were always conspiracy theorists. There was always the one guy that, like, pretty much every major campus, every major college, there was at least that one guy who was considered the conspiracy theorist, kind of like in that 70s show, The Conspiracy Guy. That's how they were portrayed. But, I mean, they weren't always pot smokers. A lot of them were some straight edge people. Anyway, he said that guy was deep into the books. He had all of the evidence and proof of everything. Nobody cared. So it seems like just the level of indoctrination of bootlickers, it's like, I hate to say this one because I don't think I've ever said this adage before. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I never really liked it, but on the other hand, there's a certain amount of psychological aspect to that is true. So even when you had to do the work, nobody wanted to do it. Now it's easy, doesn't matter. Although I think that the number of aware are definitely rising, which is actually, it's almost like a weird paradox. Back in the 70s, people were less fluoridated, less poisoned, less soy, and less taxed by the government. So way more free time and happiness, etc., and mental acuity. And they still didn't, there were less people that cared then than now. That's kind of an interesting paradox, isn't it? So, yeah. Well, let's continue here.
So happy to see you. Look how happy she is to see you guys. How do you know him? I don't know him. You are so excited to see these guys right now.
Oh, you're famous.
Do you guys know each other?
Yeah, she makes YouTube videos.
You guys know each other?
Yeah.
Yeah? She's so excited to see you.
Who?
Caitlin Bennett, you.
Oh my god.
Where do you guys know her from?
This is a prank now. She sold it, and now this turned into a prank.
Where's Dylan?
Where's Dylan when we need Dylan?
Dylan, your friend Caitlin wants you.
Oh my god.
Where's Dylan?
I sure hope I don't look like Caitlin Bennett.
Why? What's wrong? I heard she's pretty cute.
Where's Dylan? Where?
You don't think she's cute? I think she's pretty cute.
I don't know what to say anymore now because I'm not sure what direction this is heading in.
Well, she said, "Oh my God, Caitlin Bennett," started screaming at you. I only assume that that's your name.
That's not mine. Who is it? You?
I thought your name was Caitlin and mine's Bennett.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
For Jesus.
Can you be more specific?
After the 3 days.
Okay. What happened after the 3 days?
He rised. Like,
Yes.
came back from hell.
Yeah. Came back from hell. Some people believe that. What?
Yeah, he went to hell first, and then, because he had to send all the fallen souls. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't know that. I thought he just went to heaven and came back.
No, you're right.
Thank you.
Why do we celebrate Easter?
Why do we celebrate Easter? The resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Very good. Why do we celebrate Easter?
The resurrection of Jesus.
Why am I getting wrong answers about that question?
I guess people not Christians. I don't know.
I don't know. They say they are, and they're like, his birthday? Technically, it could be his rebirthday, right?
You're right. It could be very well his rebirthday. I can agree to that.
Okay, his rebirthday. That is not what they said.
Now, all you guys subscribe to this sweet face right here. Okay, she's vibing. She's out here grinding right now on the beach. Okay, she could be having fun out here on the beach like everybody else, but she's out here vibing.
You
gotta work. You gotta grind. You gotta spread the word. Yes, sir. Let's go.
We like to express our faith out here. We like to ignore the leftists and how faith is this,
Yes.
is that.
Yes.
We like to
All
express
right,
our
we're
faith.
going back.
All I gotta say is that the end of the day, if you're not in love with yourself, you can't love anyone else.
No.
You just gotta be happy with who you are and not give a fuck about who judges you. Because if you are happy with yourself, you are happy with the life that you're living in. You guys have a good fucking day.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Let's go. Woo! She's out here vibing. She's out here grinding. Let's go, bro. She deserves
Thank you.
to be top
This is the biggest
50
hype.
on YouTube. Let's go.
This is the biggest hype I've ever had in my life.
I'm on YouTube, so I know how it goes. Like, let's go.
Okay. So, yeah, that was kind of tough to get through. That was really tough to get through. So, yeah, I mean, this series is kind of weird because on one hand, it's hilarious. On the other hand, it's tragic and it kind of forces you to think about society, the downfall of society and where this is all going. But yeah, I mean, the paradox. AJD says, I had a rotten childhood, but I really miss those days. People were more real. Wow, why you gotta say that? I mean, that goes right in the feels, right? For anybody that's not a youngin'. Because now everybody's kind of in a programmed mode, checking their phone in just this permanent state of gophery. Permanent fluoride stares. But yeah, I mean, back in the 90s and prior, whether you had a good childhood or a bad childhood, there was definitely less of the fluoride stare. I mean, yeah, everything's kind of... I don't know how to put this. It's almost like everybody's living through this Instagram filter where nothing is really real. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Hello, Aaron's Energy and Jane Creek in here. Heracles. I mean, we're wrapping up now. I mean, that was tough to get through. We're wrapping up, but this was sad. And yes, people seem to be getting less and less real. Although, if you visit some rural areas where people aren't permanently plugged in, they're real enough. They're still pretty real. Elaine says they were fooled into thinking they hippies were bucking the system and that was enough. A year later, they were all getting MBAs. Well, that's the way the establishment works, though. They co-opt and infiltrate, and they play all angles. They infiltrate all sides, so they attempt to win no matter what. But let's try to end this on a positive note. Just the paradox I mentioned earlier. The fact that people were less fluoridated and had much higher testosterone levels for men anyway back in the 70s, it seemed a lot less people cared, though. I mean, maybe it's because things weren't that bad yet. Things weren't that bad yet. I mean, maybe they were worse than previous decades, but they still weren't that bad. Now that things are getting that bad, it almost seems like even the fluoridated are still waking up in bigger numbers. So we'll leave it at that positive note paradox. Hope everybody enjoyed another edition of the MindShock podcast in the Goofatorium series. Plenty more to come. If you want to help support the podcast, you can donate to our PayPal. Just check the link in the description. You can become a YouTube member right here on YouTube. Help support the channel that way. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Patreon. This is Bruce McGuire signing off. Catch you guys next time.